Okay. Hi everybody, my name is Michael Dupertuis. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Geroco that is selling a product called Ecowizz, a solution to help people get awareness about their energy consumption and to reduce it. So just a little point, in Switzerland, the standbys from appliances that we've got is consuming almost 2/3 of an actual power plant, nuclear power plant production. There is a lot of waste in energy in standbys. That is something that is increasing because we've got much more devices like that are always in standby mode or needs energy to be working. And we've got much more television and so on that are connected and smart devices. So from our side, we are working on that and we help people and business to really save this wasting of energy. So how are we doing that? Basically, we developed this little appliance that is called a smart plug. So easy to use, you put that in the electrical outlet, but the device here could be the television, coffee machine. It could be also the printer or a vending machine in the company. We measure the energy consumption of the devices, send that directly from the internet of the customer to the server of Ecowizz. And so finally, for the user, we send back, we give the feedback about how the people are consuming energy. So that easily with devices, but inside the home or inside the company, you can measure and act on your energy consumption. So we developed this kind of interface, really easy to use, friendly, something that in just one glance you see how you are behaving inside your house or the company. Also when you are outside, you can control that through the web app. But you can control it. It means that, for instance, from my side, I'm really a coffee addict. So I need that my coffee machine to be on when I wake up the morning. And so I set up, okay, coffee machine wake up at 6 o'clock the morning, so I can have my coffee when I'm waking up. And I know that when I will be leaving during the day, the coffee machine will be off. So it's easy to set up, just put your schedules and it's done. It will shut down the devices automatically. Finally, the user gets the feedback because it's really important to have feedback about how you behave to change that. And so the people can compare themselves. They can know when they are saving energy, what it is in terms of money, really important, but also in terms of energy savings and also the impact on the environment. What did we do for companies? Because we started with private, so for individuals, we've got tens of thousands of users with Ecowizz solution on the field. But also there is a big need in companies or collectivities. And so we started thinking about what we can do, also easy for them to implement. And what we realize is that, for instance, in universities or schools, there are a lot of devices, also in companies, that are consuming energy during the night, the evening, the holidays. So we said, okay, what can we do for them? We start by selling them some plugs to say, hey, it can save 100 euros per year per device. It could be fine for you. But a lot of them said, it's not our business. We just have a lot of things to do. We don't have time to spend even for something good for the environment and the money. Okay, so after 2 years of reflection on being on the market, talking with customers, we said it's our role to handle that. So what we did is that we finance everything. We deploy the solution in the companies, especially on devices that are consuming a lot of energy, and we monitor that. We assure to the customers that we are doing some savings. And at the end, we are really paid on the performance. So it means that if one customer is making, for instance, 1,000 euros savings per year, we take something like 50% of commissions on top of that. And so we are only paid if the customer is making some earnings, and we have to prove that. So at the end, we change the business model by saying, we take the risk to invest, to deploy, to maintain the system, and you take only the benefits from that. And now it's really getting a big business. So I will not have a lot of points, technical points, but that's typically the type of consumption from 2 devices. So vending machine and a coffee machine installed in the company for something about 500 euros per year. What we did is that we scheduled the stop of the machine, vending machine and coffee machine, when the people were not in the company, so during the night, during the weekends. This is what we realized. Oops. 66% of energy savings, instantly. And we financed that, we realized that. At the end, it was really a drop in the money for this energy that was wasted, because at the end, nobody was there to consume this energy. Okay, but I will talk also about the entrepreneur journey that has been behind that. Because I'm not a techie guy, I'm not coming from an university. In fact, I worked in a multinational in Switzerland. I worked for big business, big millions, and so on. But in 2008, there were a special event. I know everybody is aware about that, the big crisis, financial crisis. And I thought to myself, hey, the world is changing. People will get aware about that this point is really changing. They can do something better for the people, or they can continue to just stay in the same corner and don't make any things. And I was also younger than now, without family, said, I don't have risk to take, so let's change the world. That was 2008. But I'm not, some guy to work alone. So really, we're sharing ideas about how we can do something in energy field that I was passionate for. I found some other people also interested, also passionate about this topic. And we started during the night, the weekends, to work on what can be done, what can be realized to save energy easily, how can we help people to realize that. So that's the team. So a techie guy, really a great guy with the technology and so on, but a little bit pessimistic. We said, like a techie guy, it will never work. We have to be careful about that. Myself, as the always optimistic, saying, we can do everything. We can change the world. It will be possible. Money, we don't care about money. We don't need money right now, so let's go ahead. We will see. And also the realistic one, a guy that was doing, the mediator between the two others. So what we did is that we started really simply by putting the needs that we were thinking about, what could be the needs of individuals, of business in the field of energy savings. We started also by joining the Venture Challenge program that is in Switzerland. Some people already talk about that, being really here in a semester to work on the business ideas you've got and finalizing that by business plan. And when we finished this semester, we said, okay, now we have to take a decision. Why not creating our own company, our own startup? So leaving the job we had and starting this adventure. So that's how my mother thought that. Say, hey guy, you're just too optimistic. It's not possible. You will lose your job. You will. Everything is good for you right now. What will be the end? You will come and just take the couch and sleep by your parents like before, or what? That's how my boss saw that when I resigned. He said, hey, you will come back to me when you will see that it's not so easy to manage a company and you're so young, you've got 23 years old. What can you do? Just come back to me later. And my banker said, hey, what do you want from me? I cannot help you. You said that you would like to do a new stuff, a new market that is not existing right now. I'm not the guy to help you, guy. And that's how I see that also. That was really something that I was afraid, saying, oh my God, I see that if I jump right now, perhaps I will, crash down. And I have to fly, but I'm not aware if I can fly. So let's start it. And so it's what we did. In 2009, we started by working really on prototypes, mock-up, working on potential customers about their needs, showing really with the first prototype. It was really ugly, but we presented that to an international fair in telecommunication in 2009. So we got really some ugly prototypes, ugly mock-ups. But already we were communicating on that. Also, we work by creating some networking, being with people, talking about the ideas, sharing also some troubles from other startuppers that are just there, taking some mentors, saying, how did you do that? How did you realize that? And sharing the experience. And what was really great is that at the end of 2009, when we incorporated the company, I was for 6 months without salary, without nothing. We got a first utility that said, I would like to partner with you. I like the idea, I got the same vision like you. I would like my customer to be aware about their energy consumption, and I will support you. That for us at this time was really the step that makes the things in our head saying, yes, there is really something to do, there is really some business to do out of the idea. So we work, like a boys band saying we will change the world and work on that. So beginning 2010, we started to employ some people to work on what will be the next product to come. And so, yeah, a lot of work on the electronics, a lot of night spent, a lot of deception also about what we did, a lot of work on the computers and coffee to drink. So we work a lot on that. But in May 2010, we get no cash. And no cash, no party. It's so easy. So the big point was that if at the end of May we were not finding something like 20K or 50K euro, it was finished. We have to fire everybody and say, okay, we lose. And at this point, we got a lot of bad news, some customers, potential customers not wanting to help us during this phase. Also a rent or loan that we didn't catch up in Switzerland. So a lot of bad news. And the last one that we're staying was a national competition of startup called Venture Kick. Already talked about that. We were finalists for 100K Swiss francs. And so we were really not thinking about being able to win that, because there are a lot of huge startups with great potential coming from EPFL, EPFL, so universities, and we were just making products, out of the garage. But we won it. We won it because we said really to the jury, to the people, how we thought that it could be really something to work, how we can make some revenue out of that, and how we've got the entrepreneurial spirit, and that counted. And so the people said, we believe in you, we would like to help you. So we won this 100 Swiss francs, and better than the price, better than the money and the fact that the company will not crash, we got also the awareness from the people themselves, the future customers. We got a lot of press release about us, and the press release also make the investors, the potential customers, be more confident about what we could do. And so here we don't have commercial products, but we were talking, communicating about our vision. And finally, some people came to us, some individuals at the end, the one that called business angels, saying, we love your vision. We think that there is a big business in energy field, and we would like to help you. So finally, at the end of 2010, we realized the first round of investment for something like 800K Swiss francs that help us go from prototypes to production and commercialization. So finally, in 2010, we arrived on the market in Switzerland, especially the French market in Switzerland. And so we started selling the products we spent 2 years working on. That was really a great moment in our life. Being able to sell and to receive some money for something you had in the mind some years ago, that you were perhaps alone in the beginning to think about that, and finally get some people, hundreds of people, saying, we would like to buy that, and we are ready to give you some money for that. That was really, as an entrepreneurial perspective, one of the best moments of my life. Also, I put some points about the road of success and failures, because as David said, it's not so easy. Being an entrepreneur is quite amazing, as it could be stressful. You've got some up and downs, but it could be not in a month, it could be in one day having a big news, something great like a partner who would like to go with you, and the same day having the chain supply saying, hey, we fuck up the production, you've got 100 pieces or 1,000 pieces that are done and we have to redo that. So really you have to work on your heart and be ready to have all these emotions. That's really something that is stressful. So also so great also to feel that, because it's like living, in some years, something that a manager in a big company will live in 20 years. So that was great. And so from my perspective, what was really the key point first was to validate the business idea. So, it was coming from 2-3 people saying we would like to do something for energy savings. But at the end, to be sustainable, you have to create a product that will be paid by somebody. So you have to work on the business idea and to transform that on business model. After that, from my perspective, is to have a great team. Some people that are able to complement your skills and your failures. And from my side, I really took some people that were really not thinking the same way than I was doing. And it was painful sometimes. Really, when you've got somebody that say, we will not go, you say, yes, we have to go. It's really something painful, but at the end, I think that having a team, a core team at the beginning to work together is the thing that makes that the company is still alive and working well right now. And after you've got how to execute, you have to find some mentors, some people that can help you, some people to share your experience, especially within the entrepreneurs themselves. And finally, I will tell you also something that we did. Because, being an entrepreneur is not like being a manager of the company. You've got a lot of responsibility, a lot of weight on your shoulders. And you cannot share that with your team, your employees. You cannot share that with your board of advisors or your board of directors. You cannot share that even with your wife, because all will be frightened by that. It's really frightening, perhaps, that in 2 months or 3 months, you have to fire everybody, but perhaps you will find a solution to make the situation not happening. So what we did, and it's really a solution bottom-up, is that together with other entrepreneurs, we create a simple association. So it's called in Switzerland Swiss Tech Association, but finally it's entrepreneurs getting together without having state funding, without having other helps and so on, just a place where entrepreneurs can talk together, share experiences, help themselves, talk about special things. So we realize first the talks. It's like the TELC talks, if you know that, but in really small groups, and we talk about a special subject and work on together. We also create a tech map, so to find the people that are working on different fields, so to find easily who can help you in a type of business or facilitator or as an investor. And finally, what the big project is also to have our own accelerator where entrepreneurs can help future entrepreneurs to start or to work on and accelerate the business. Because also one big point is that entrepreneurial spirit is not coming from universities, it's not coming from coach that never did a company, it's coming from you being also motivated, inspired by other entrepreneurs. And the real point that we did when we created this association was really to create a bridge between entrepreneurs, talking about the real subjects, the real points that are painful, but also where the people were successful. So, okay, I finished my talk here, and it's really a pleasure to be here in Romania to talk, and I hope also meet some startups, local startups, and to find some bridge between the two countries. Thanks a lot. I don't know if there is some question. You're a little bit angry. Yeah.
What's your exit strategy?
Exit strategy is that customers have to be happy with us. We are not, looking for being sold in the months to come. But we've got some companies knocking on the door right now because we are a company that have got 5 years, that now has business growing, that is... So perhaps, let's see, if we've got some opportunities and possibly the possibility to get, to have more growth, but with the good partners, why not selling the business? But today we didn't find this partner and we are not looking directly for that.
What the angel investors think about?
So they are really supporting us in this way. So you have to know that the investor, the business angel that invested in the company, were really doing that because they believed the vision was good and they would like to participate, not doing that only to have return on investment. And that's changed a lot from a banker, for instance. So, and now, right now, they are still involved, still helping to create some new opportunities, but never putting some pressure about when the money will get back. I'm not sure it's all the startups like that, but we've got this chance.
I have a question from the point of view of the consumer, maybe. I don't understand why the input cable and the output cable are on the same side of the device. Wouldn't it be easier to have them on opposite sides
About?
of that device?
Yeah. From that, you said, having a cable like that?
Yeah, but why are they on the same side?
Here it's really,
Opposite sides.
that's interesting because it was really looking with some first beta testers about how they were using that. First, we didn't have any cables. It was just, with the plug going to the supply. And after we saw two things. First, people put that behind the couch or behind the television, and when they come at another time that was programmed, they have to go and push the button and so on. It was not really useful. So we said, okay, we need some cables. And first, it was really, like you said, separated. But after we found that people were putting that on the couch again or television and just would like the button to be available for putting down with the no, but it is so crazy because but we work with some potential customers, some users, to see how we have to fit the elements, and finally we get that. But it has to be, it was iterative with that.
It's not a technical choice.
No, it's a consumer. Yeah, exactly. It's customer oriented, and we didn't. The last point that is really funny. Why is it green? Why is it so big? Is that because the people that are buying that would like to show that to the people that are coming inside the house? It's like branding yourself. I'm green, So that's fun. You have to know how the customer are really in their mind to have the good product for them.
How much does it cost?
So here, for an individual, it's 99 Swiss francs. So it's about 200 lei, I'm not sure. And for companies like I show you, we pay everything and we take a commission on the savings.
And regarding that, you see that one is developing more than the other, like you might completely drop the end user part, or
Yeah.
balancing also?
In fact, what is fun is that we never saw ourselves as a B2C company, but we had to do that to create the trust in our B2B customers, like utilities, because we are working a lot with utilities that are giving that to their customers in white label, and we take a fee on the white label the accounts that are created, and also on the plugs to be sold. But we had to go first with the B2C model. And right now, the B2C is really less than 5% of the revenues. So mainly it's coming from utilities and companies. Yeah.
What kind of agreement did you have with your first partner?
So the first agreement was something like, we put 20K on the table just for the ID, just because we like it. And if you're able to do what you presented on a nice PowerPoint, we will order for 800 households of product. So it was quite a big deal if we were able to get the money from investors to finance the production and arrive on the market.
Okay, so how did you get employed? How did you earn money after the project was successful?
Yeah, so I didn't put in the presentation, but so we put ourselves the money. Everything that we had as co-founders, we put in the company to pay the employees. Also, what we did is that we had the chance to join an incubator in Switzerland that helped us also with 30K. So 20K plus 30K equals some months of work with employees. But with salaries that are really just something to help them be not in private bankruptcy, you know. It was really small. Yes?
Can your device monitor more than one home appliance
Yes.
in one app, or you have to buy another device? So let's
Yeah.
say, let me put it that way.
No, but I
You have a
understand.
device in
Yeah.
a three-plug,
Yeah.
where you have three-plug
Yeah.
appliance at home, where you have the TV, the radio, and can the device.
So the device is not able to know if there is 3 or 1 appliances on that. So if you put, for instance, the Ecowizz plug on a multiple plug, that is useful, in fact, in a house, because where you've got the TV corner, you don't have only the TV. You've got the TV, perhaps the PlayStation of the kids, and so on and so on. So every device is on a multiple plug on Ecowizz plug to switch on, switch off the devices. But what we are doing right now is also to have a solution for monitoring the global energy consumption of the house or the flat. And after that, disaggregating the consumption inside the house, telling you how much you consume with the washing machine, the cooking, and so on. And so that will come to the market in the beginning of next year, after 3.5 years of development. Yeah, that was painful.
So the software will be able to separate the
Yeah.
energy consumption.
Yeah, taking only on the meter the global consumption. And so from all the algorithms we developed, we are able to disaggregate everything. Welcome.
I have one more question. If you're giving away the devices to your clients, and then you measure somehow their difference in bills, but you have to measure before and after, right? How do you do the agreement?
So we are doing exactly a kind of audit before shutting down the devices, setting what is the situation. So during 2 months, we are really measuring the behavior of the users and the appliances themselves, and it's the point for the contract. But what we are doing also, we know exactly when we are shutting down the devices, and we know the consumption before that. So it's quite effective, the reports that we are doing on the energy saved. And the people trust also this element because they measured with ourselves. But it's both audits to have an initial situation, and during the use of that, the effective savings we did. But it was quite tough to make something simple.
Do you also know what's the power consumption of these devices?
Yes, it's half a watt of consumption, so it's less than the standby in the television. Now we had to do something good about the consumption of the device. If not, we have to put device on device to switch on.
We should check as the counters for the electricity. There's a efficient and you can provide a better solution, that's huge.
It's huge with the meters, but the point is that you are not able to switch off devices if you are on the meter itself. And if you would like to switch off, for instance, lights or devices, but big consumer, you have to put some money investing on electricians to come to set up devices and so on. And it's not our business. We would like to do something really easy that can be installed, deployed really in a large scale. And for that, we focus really on what can be installed by the customer himself or by somebody without any technical knowledge. Welcome. Yeah?
It's really, fashionable to talk about like smart home and intelligent home or whatever. I actually have a friend who has this totally computerized home, like turning on lights, turning on the music from his
iPhone. Yeah.
But for that, he had to cable the whole house, and he has a huge control board with Wi-Fi and with protocol that's encrypted and whatever. It's completely insane. But the thing is that if you do this with one device or with a few devices, but then you make this effort, and then one time you leave for a weekend and you leave the lights on, and that completely kills all the savings you've made. And that's not covered by this, right? Because the lights, it's you turn on or off. We have a switch. That's it. So, is there some way have you thought to kind of in the future develop this so that it includes more of the home consumption, not just.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so and there is two different type of business. So there is the one of home automation, like you said, and I didn't say that in the presentation, but I did some time in a company doing home automation, and I know all the hell it is to have the wire cabled and so on. That's really terrifying. And right now there is another business in which we are, it's energy saving, so that's also another topic. But some field will join together is the one of Internet of Things, right. Because it's a huge market that is now rising. We saw a good also presentation from Bena with that. Internet of Things is really a topic where all the devices could be at the end something, an actuator or something to be on or off, and it can work together. And so now we are really involved in different initiatives with that, or association in Europe or in US with this kind of topics to communicate, and having the possibility for the one that got some applications, so really the app like in the App Store, to save energy, to work with others that are more oriented on the comfort of the people, like home automation is doing.
Yeah, because I think that this could be a strategic advantage that you could have, because if you already have a customer base and you already have your device in their house, you can use that device as a platform for other things. Like you can integrate a Wi-Fi router inside these things, and you can actually have other people do their applications through your things as a platform. So you're already 5 years ahead of them, you're 10 years ahead of them.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's a good point. And so we already, when we started to think about how we will make the communication with this topic in mind. And so, for instance, we implement a norm that is now used in the Internet of Things business, that is the Zigbee for home application, and that is now well used. So concretely, this application will be able to communicate with other applications in Zigbee, and the routers will be also able to communicate in Wi-Fi. So that's possible. And we make in Switzerland with 3 different companies the first association in Internet of Things business by creating a box able to communicate for the home automation and other applications with Zigbee, with Wi-Fi, with radio, blah, blah, blah. And this is going on the market right now. And really the big goal there is to not have that only for us, but really to have all the companies interested, especially startups, for instance, to use the box and to reduce the price of this one by sharing all the costs to have the materialization, but to add some great advantage to work on apps that can be run on the box itself, to create some new devices that can communicate, and so on, and so on, and so on. But I think it's really a work for the next 10 years to come, but we are working right now with different companies aware about this problematic.
I think this is a great example of something that starts kind of looks really simple and whatever, but then it's like a thread, and you keep pulling it, and you pull at it, and you find more and more sophisticated applications.
Exactly.
Well, you have to start somewhere. This is a starting point.
You start somewhere, and when we were talking before about the minimal viable product, really when if I will show you the presentation about what will be the perfect product from our side, you will not see only smart plugs. We were really in the control of the light, of the heating system, of everything. But at the end, like you said, we have to start simple, we have to make revenues, we have to consolidate the business and to grow on top of that. And now it's what we are doing. We've got new products to come, but we have to consolidate before doing everything and losing the focus.